Let's face it, folks. Things are messy. Politics have become a blood sport. We're stuck in this endless loop of screaming heads on TV and Twitter wars. It's us versus them, red versus blue, and nobody's listening. We're so busy picking sides that we've forgotten what we're actually fighting for. This isn't a game show, people. It's our lives, our communities, our future. And the more we buy into this polarized system, the more we lose sight of what truly matters. We're so busy focusing on the big picture, on national elections and partisan battles, that we forget about the elections happening right in our backyards. But here's a newsflash. Local elections matter. They matter a lot. They decide who controls your schools, your roads, your police, your taxes. These are the issues that directly impact your daily life. Yet, we treat local elections like that weird uncle at Thanksgiving dinner. We know they exist, but we try to avoid them at all costs. It's time to ditch the political theater and focus on what really hits home. It's time to start thinking local. Let's talk about the elephant and the donkey in the room, shall we? The two-party system. It's been around for ages, like that old smelly couch you can't seem to get rid of. We're told it's the backbone of democracy, a system of checks and balances. But honestly, it's more like a broken seesaw, constantly tilting between two extremes and never really getting anywhere. This two-party system forces us into neat little boxes. You're either on this side or that side, and God forbid you have an independent thought. It's like choosing between two flavors of toothpaste. Neither one is ideal, but you're stuck with the limited options on the shelf. And who benefits from this limited choice? Not the everyday folks like you and me. No, the real winners are the politicians and the special interest groups who thrive on this division. They keep us distracted with their partisan bickering while they line their pockets and ignore the real issues. It's time to break free from the two-party trap, folks. It's time to demand more choices, more representation, and a system that actually works for the people. All right, let's bring this down to earth, shall we? Forget Washington for a moment and think about your own neighborhood. Who decides how your tax dollars are spent? Who determines the quality of your schools? Who sets the policies for your local police department? That's right, folks, it's your local elected officials. The mayor, the city council members, the school board trustees. These are the people making decisions that directly impact your daily life. They determine whether your potholes get filled, your libraries stay open, and your parks are safe for your kids. Yet, we often treat these local elections like an afterthought. We obsess over the presidential race, but we can't be bothered to vote for the people who actually run our communities. It's time to flip the script. It's time to start paying attention to the elections that hit closest to home. Because when it comes down to it, the quality of your life is far more dependent on who's running your city hall than who's sitting in the Oval Office. Here's a fun fact that's not so fun. Voter turnout for local elections is abysmally low. We're talking single digits in some cases, folks. It's like showing up to a party and finding out you're the only guest. Awkward. And you know what happens when nobody shows up to vote? The same old faces stay in power, the same policies get enacted, the same problems remain unsolved. It's like watching a rerun of a really bad sitcom. You know exactly what's going to happen, and it's not going to be pretty. Low voter turnout gives a disproportionate amount of power to a small group of people. It allows special interests to dominate the conversation and push their own agendas. It creates a system where the needs of the many are ignored in favor of the wants of the few. But here's the good news. You have the power to change that. Your vote, especially in a local election, carries significant weight. It's time to stop being a passive observer and start being an active participant in shaping your community. Let's be real, folks. Blindly following a party line is about as effective as using a potato as a smartphone. It might look like it's doing something, but it's not actually getting you anywhere. Instead of pledging allegiance to a party, let's try something revolutionary. Thinking for ourselves, let's focus on the issues, the policies, the things that actually matter to us and our communities. Are you concerned about the environment, education, affordable housing? Great. Find out where the candidates stand on those issues. Read their platforms, attend community forums, ask tough questions. Don't just vote for the name you recognize or the party you've always belonged to. Vote for the candidate who aligns with your values and who you believe will actually represent your interests. It's time to ditch the political autopilot and start making informed decisions. Your vote is a powerful tool, folks. Use it wisely. Section 6, Local Elections 101, your guide to getting involved. Okay, so You're fired up about local elections, you're ready to ditch the political apathy and make your voice heard. But where do you even begin? Don't worry folks, I've got you covered. First things first, find out when and where the next local election is happening in your area. You can usually find this information on your city or county website, or by contacting your local election office. Once you know the election date, do a little digging, and find out who's running for office. Next, it's time to do your homework. Read up on the candidates, their platforms, and their positions on the issues. Attend community forums, town halls, or debates to hear them speak in person. You can also check out their websites and social media pages to get a better sense of who they are and what they stand for. Remember, knowledge is power. The more informed you are, the better equipped you'll be to make a decision that reflects your values and priorities. Section 7. Know your candidate beyond the yard signs. Alright, so you found out when the election is and who's running, but how do you actually decide who to vote for? It's easy to be swayed by a catchy slogan or a friendly face on a yard sign. But let's dig a little deeper, shall we? One of the best ways to get to know a candidate is to attend a local event where they're speaking. This could be a town hall meeting, a community forum, or even just a casual meet and greet. Listen to what they have to say, but more importantly, pay attention to how they say it. Do they seem genuine, passionate, informed? Don't be afraid to ask questions. What are their plans for addressing the issues that matter most to you? How will they work with others to get things done? What experience and qualifications do they bring to the table? Remember, you're not just voting for a name on a ballot, you're voting for someone to represent you and your community. Choose wisely. Section 8. Making your voice heard, more than just voting. Alright, so you've registered to vote, you've done your research, and you've cast your ballot. Mission accomplished, right? Well, not quite. Getting involved in local elections goes beyond just voting. It's about becoming an active participant in your community. One way to do this is by volunteering for a candidate or a cause you believe in. You can help with canvassing, phone banking, or organizing events. Not only is this a great way to make a difference, but it's also a fantastic opportunity to meet like-minded people and learn more about local issues. You can also make your voice heard by attending city council meetings, school board meetings, or other public forums. These meetings are where important decisions are made that affect your community. By showing up and speaking your mind, you can help ensure that your voice is heard. Remember, democracy is a team sport. It requires active participation from all of us, so get out there, get involved, and make your voice heard. Section 9, your vote, your community, your future. Alright folks, let's wrap this up. We've covered a lot of ground here, from the pitfalls of the two-party system to the importance of local elections. But the message is simple: your vote matters. It's easy to feel powerless in the face of national politics, but local elections are a different story. Your vote has a direct impact on your community, your schools, your streets, your quality of life. It's a chance to shape the future you want to see right in your own backyard. So ditch the political cynicism, folks. Ditch the apathy. Get informed, get involved, and most importantly, get out there and vote. Because when it comes to local elections, your voice and your vote truly can make a world of difference.